This is Weston Chandler coming to you live from Ruckersville once again. We're about to do the director's commentary for my Autism Tutorial on LittleBiGPlanet 3 on PlayStation 4. I just want to get a few notes out of the way so we don't have to go through this during the actual animation. Yeah. Originally this was quite a more painstaking effort than I had planned originally. Especially because to view the tutorial as originally uploaded from LittleBiGPlanet 2 on PlayStation 3, on the PlayStation 4, it ended up my character being left shirtless. So using the PlayStation 3 version of LittleBiGPlanet 3, I had to put a new shirt on my character, which is one of the soccer shirts. Specifically, I picked the one for Jolly Old England. And then I put the shirt decal over that. Yeah. And also among which I could not edit these to my PS4 version here because I was missing the Marvel DLC that was originally, I believe, released for LittleBiGPlanet 1 if I'm not mistaken. Or otherwise LittleBiGPlanet 2. Anyhow, yeah, the licenses needs to be renewed for all that so that I can download the DLC for the PS4. Fortunately, I had it on PS3. It was just, I wish I could have done it all on this one system, but I had to do it all on the PlayStation 3. I'm glad I did not get rid of it. And also the Chinese New Year DLC. I'm liking that as well for PS4. So let's get that up there. Let's get that up there, Sony, Media Molecule, whoever listens to all this anyway. Yeah, and also sent a complaint to support as well through the forum, of which about all this, and also made a suggestion they should at least do a remastered version of LittleBiGPlanets 1, 2, and Karting for PlayStation 4 and allow us to be able to download all of the DLC originally released for PlayStation 3. And also, I still felt disappointed that the PS4 would not allow me to play the PS3 games that I have in my digital library, because I was looking forward to migrating the LittleBiGPlanet data, including save data and backed up profiles from my PlayStation 3 to PS4. Like, I believe it to my understanding with the save data from the PS3 version of Minecraft to the PS4 version, which I've heard about before. And also just go ahead and quell a few haters to comment on this, but I mean, I'm not fat, I'm losing the weight. And also, so what if I vent about nearly at the end of each part of the autism tutorial? I have my own rights too. I'm human. You're human. We're all human. Alright? And don't go lying that you're saying you're an alien. Alright? Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and just pretty much one minor update to the autism that I feel from my own personal experience. Constant mental blankouts. My mind just blanks out at random typically from overzealous amount of stress and anxiety from life and everything. I mean, it's pretty much typical amongst people I have learned, but I would guess, and feel free, but not to be insulting, feel free to correct me if I'm mistaken, because I have also taken medications that quell my anxieties and stress. I don't end up with heart attacks and whatnot. Crazy life. Anywho, self-aware, all that. That's so fair. I originally wanted to stream this through while I'm playing the LittleBiGPlanet through remote play on my Vita, but unfortunately, to do share while having the remote play enabled, it would not let me do that, because then I would have had the ability to view the tutorial down here and kept constant eye contact with the camera where I have it located, versus originally where it was on top of the monitor and where the animation is being made that I'm playing on right now. Alright, so with that, let's go online and find the update.
On the Little Big Planet Great Mind Grapevine. This week's teen picks have been picked by the Teen Picks
Find the
pickers.
Autism Tutorial as updated
Supernatural entities that haunt
in an
the
adventure
old
map.
offices. Go to the community section to see the brightest and best the Imagisphere has to offer right now.
I know he has a job to do, but do I have to have him repeating himself as I go along? Anyway, it was quite a painstaking effort to get all of this updated so I could put it all in an adventure map and in a clockwise order, so then the parts can be viewed individually later, but more importantly so they can all be streamed through seamlessly, so I would not have to click the split button in between parts, except for to go from part 6 to the extra part with the mock interview. Alright, so with all that aside, here's the tutorial, and I'm commenting. Sonichu and Rosechu available on Etsy. Everything. Books, all that. Okay? Thank you. Just putting the plug there. Loading screen.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christian Weston Chandler, alias Christopher, and I am autistic. I'm functionally autistic.
I wonder how some people actually are able to cope with listening to their own voices, you know?
And opinions, we will look into autism. What it is,
I think my voice was more high-pitched way back then.
and how we autistics should be treated and respected in real-life social situations.
Just a hint. Pretty much the inspiration for where I tilted my head forward made it look like I was whispering that to y'all. I think, if I remember correctly, that was inspired by Louise in the classic Bob's Burgers episode where she goes like whispering to her mom, and she didn't make us wear seatbelts. He didn't. Mr. Frond.
Autism especially affects the connection between the amygdala, the social...
Oh yeah, and I definitely do believe that
and the cerebral cortex,
if they haven't done all the research yet since 2009, when I originally did this animation, all the research and discoveries in the corpus callosum. Come on, what's the progress? What's the status on that cure for autism? Or at least fixing the corpus callosum. And I was unable to actually remedy that missing notepad that was left in that bottom part of the brain on that image up there.
Takes drugs or certain meds and other non or real environmental factors such as car exhaust. Ladies, get off the drugs now. Another factor lies in the father's age upon child conception. The mother's age is not a factor here. Dude, have your children before like 40 or 50?
Not to insult Mr. C, my late father, who rests in peace in the not shall memory gardens, but he was literally 52, 53, 52 going on 53 in 1980 upon my conception, which that definitely backs up the theory about the father's age being a factor and bringing on more likely autism in the child, because I've been cursed with it.
Try calling their name. In that young age, they seldom respond if they have autism, as well as unsynced atypical vocal patterns. They also will have...
Well, yeah, I tend to switch back and forth from differing voice tones, levels. I gotta end up watching myself if I'm not careful.
Imaginative play is often blank in autistic minds.
Oh yeah, that definitely goes along with the constant mental blankness and blankouts that actually happen to me, literally.
By the way, boys are more affected with autism than girls. That's just the way it is. Compulsive behavior, or a type of ADD, attention deficit disorder, is also common. In most cases, Self-destructive behavior such as
I haven't watched this
hurting others,
in total
and
depth,
bullying, possibly.
or possibly with the mental blankouts from watching it again recently.
Go into self-destructiveness.
I can't remember everything. I'm not perfect. Who's perfect? Nobody's perfect. So quit hating on everybody, haters. Nobody's perfect. You're not perfect either.
Sometimes. Feeling restricted is also common. Staying within their comfort zones with realistic behavior.
Ritualistic.
Behavior.
My little faux pas.
And with repetition in play, we may as well be walking around in circles for infinity time.
I originally did want to do that full loop around, but the camera for this technology did not work so well in my favor there.
It can be obvious by the age of 3 years old. I myself spoke first at 6 weeks
Hey,
with
look
the
at me
word
here
monkey
and there.
in an attempt at saying mommy. My
Same face, but I think I look much better now than I did when that photo was taken.
1.5 years old, and I did not speak again
that's
until
funny.
when I was 7. The other infant symptoms followed in suit. A controversy began when they blamed mercury and MMR vaccines. But it was removed from all vaccines in early 2000, and yet the autism rate still grew over the decade.
You could definitely tell I had to put a new shirt on my sack person character because of that front pocket. That seems to be common with the badge, the state country, among the soccer shirts. That's what I learned. I had to go through the individual shirts to pick out the new one to put on me there.
For your autistic child, you can do a number of things, but of course the most important thing is to positively, emotionally encourage them. And try and give them hugs anyway, even if they don't want it. They will feel the love eventually, because I know I have. My mom never stopped hugging me. Another thing you can do with them is floor time. You get on the floor, you play with them. You should build Lego sets. I have my own city made out of Legos. It was a very big city too. It was pretty much an early version of my city of Quickville.
It's therapeutic building with Legos.
In the comics I had drawn.
And
I put all the bricks
yeah,
and pieces
if
in the
you
boxes
pay
under
attention,
here.
you can actually learn
They're
from
over there,
us
on the other side of
autistics
my room.
in our younger
One
age,
big city.
what goes on in our
Massive.
minds
It was great.
between what we create,
You can
draw,
of course, there's
whatever.
also therapy, psychiatry, and special autism places. I highly encourage.
I realize I have tended to go off topic, especially near the end of each part.
I fit in perfectly.
I mean, I don't mean to be offensive at all. Seriously, I don't.
Ever send them to
But
mental
I just had so much stress in my head. I just felt I needed to vent at those times at the end of each video.
I was almost forced to do it once, but my parents would not have it.
Very smart. I mean,
Anyway, on a more modern
I definitely did not deserve to be put in an institution at all. They do no good. Seriously. Unless the child is actually so low functioning.
They also apparently formed online communities.
I mean, I'm talking up.
Listen.
I really need to think my thoughts through sometimes. I can't think everything through. I'm not.
I can tell you the truth of
My brain
the internet.
goes slow sometimes, and yeah, I just had a blank out there, but I had to catch my train of thought
Evil,
as I was just speaking right now.
sloppy, gross, weird individuals out there. And you can never tell.
I definitely like the tools that I was able to play with in LittleBiGPlanet 2. They were more diverse and compared to the first LittleBiGPlanet game.
They go online,
Especially
talking
to make
random people.
videos and animations like this. Sony Media Molecule did a good job.
So they can drag our
Behind their mother skirts, more like behind their computer monitors. And do you actually see their faces on the other end? No. You know, I learned recently that Anonymous is not a legal name. You cannot legally name your child Anonymous, except in one state. I learned that from Danger Dolan and Shima. I like Shima.
But then
Pretty
they
cat.
got them and took it away.
And I like the voice actress that did her. She
After a
has a
while,
good
I
voice.
got tired of it, so I took the websites down myself.
That was not an easy decision for me to make,
I also
having
handle MySpace and
taken
Facebook.
the sites down, in order for the sake of saving my artwork.
Your game consoles, laptops, cell phones, and maybe even your iPods.
Only if you haven't connected
They
through a
just do
Wi-Fi
not let
or a
up.
3G connection.
I have been a victim of their ways. I've never socialized online again. And I scream my phone
I suck
calls.
I suck at online dating as well, so I don't do that either.
And I'm emotionally damaged by them. It's just pitiful. Horrifying. Online gaming, on the other hand, is different. The other players, they just come and go. While I accomplish my video game
I miss my
goals.
old bedroom the
No
way it was
friendships
back
are
then.
made. And information
Definitely
searches
before my
and
father
shopping
passed
online
away.
is fine.
But
It is
then,
the social
even more recently
websites
with
like
the
Facebook
house fire and...
MySpace that
Well,
are travesties.
I don't know if I want to call this a bigger room or area I have down here, but I sure filled it up fairly quick, didn't I?
I encourage you to man and woman up respectively. Go out into the real world.
Oh, you notice
and
I
make
put
real
my birth
friends
year on the
with full, great quality friendships.
stereo set
Do
there.
it now. Socializing tips and also a little bit more history on
I tend to
myself
slip off
to be
topic
revealed
when I
in the
digress
following
and
part
go on and
in the
on.
remainder of
But
this
then again, who
tutorial.
doesn't?
So stay
Seriously.
tuned. Thank you.
I had good intentions when I originally said these things. It's definitely that. I mean, especially, you film one part at a time, you expect something at the end, at least you got something at the end. But if you, it's not unlike, I could enable skipping over the parts because that's beyond my knowledge. Awesomeness!
Back in my teenage years at Manchester High School.
Oh yeah, when I was
Virginia,
updating this, I really had to update the chips in each of the sack bots. Instead, they were originally that was a slip from the transitioning, I believe, in 2 to 3. Going back and forth for the sack bots. I had to reprogram them and actually record them going back and forth. So that's another thing that could fit for both versions of LittleBiGPlanet 3. The looping programming for the sackbot.
Within our classes.
I had to figure that out for myself, you know.
And math and even English. And sometimes we would help each other out. Those are the best of times. Pretty much.
Computer graphics
And
lab.
I even had a high school sweetheart.
In case you haven't figured it out yet, computer graphics lab, which in the front of I actually conceived Sonichu in my head back in March 17th, 2000.
Sadly though, about my high school years,
Not product placement, if you see the arch.
And I did not realize these till after I graduated. I actually wanted to realize mid-graduation.
The tea is good though. Have y'all ever tried auto-palmering it with their lemonade? I found that about 1/4 to 1/3 full, 1 to 4 or 1 to 3. Actually, more preferably 1/4. Lemonade versus tea. Yeah, that's definitely the best combination to make an Arnold Palmer with any McDonald's. I find their lemonade tea to be best for that combination. Oh yeah, I did for so many years.
And mentally challenged. And the second thing about my high school years that can...
Oh, when I originally did the animation back in 2009, I wanted to get the rain all over from left to the right side. But unfortunately, I had so much over the awning or whatnot, the emitters would not allow me to do that. Even I had not even thought that back then about putting the emitters for the raindrops below. But then again, how much respect? I don't think I would want the raindrops in between to protrude in front of the characters there.
My high school
Just a
years
bunch of
were the
randomly
best and most
selected
emotionally
second-person
encouraging for me.
characters in
But after
costumes that were
graduating in
available back
2000
then.
and moving back to lame Ruckersville,
Lame Ruckersville,
downhill for me.
L-A-M-E.
my adult
Definitely
years
compared to Chesterfield
sucked,
County.
and I'm soon to turn 29.
It was much better for me back then in high school,
I left my heart
especially
back
regardless of
Manchester High.
the my
Below.
backstabbing
I also
later
graduated
to be
from Piedmont
backstabbing
Community
gal
College
pals.
with a degree in computer drafting and design.
I still miss
But then my graduation went better
them.
for
I
me,
do. I still care about
because I
them.
did not have
But I mean
so
as
many
people,
I did not have
you know.
many friends back there.
I'm not crazy.
And plus,
I'm not totally mentally
none of them
deranged.
plain hated me.
Just because
Obviously,
I turn out to actually be a woman in spirit. Including way back then, which was definitely apparent back then. I mean, I'm venting right now, but I should not be off-put or seen as weird and whatnot, even way back in high school. Nobody should.
She still tipped me off of me, even after I apologized to her for portraying her the way I did in my books. She would not accept my apology. and she banned me
Oh, that
from the
reminds
grounds
me.
of Piedmont, Virginia
In the
Community College.
video, I said,
That's a one hell of a thank you for an
it's
apology.
not
Or an
a...
apology.
I don't like saying the
Obviously,
name,
she did
because,
not
but
accept my
anyway, so...
apology.
It's
I
not
hope
me,
she
my name
gets
is not
fired.
Ian Brandon Anderson. Never ever. I said
And I also hope that the
IBA
beginning
as in
conflict
IBA.
Southfield
Stop taking things directly, literally. It's just, that was terrible. You don't make up a name from an
That's all my ranting for
acronym
right
like
now.
that. That's all I'm ranting for right now. And I'm still ranting off and on today. Yeah, but it's just I have so much in my mind of where was I in thought. Shoot. That's another blank mind instant right there. I lost my train of thought. Inside, outside the box, in... You know what, y'all, I showed y'all where it is on my Earth. I'll just view it from, I'll just go to it from my moon. I don't want to delete. I'm trying to play. I didn't want to edit. I'm trying to play. Delays, delays, details, yada yada. More creases to iron out. Yeah, change to play mode.
Only about 10 miles.
But yeah, definitely when I tried to do all the editing on the PlayStation 4 here,
Hometown of
with
Mr.
the,
Thomas Jefferson,
you can see some of the
Mr.
Marvel
James Monroe,
DLC and the
and
decals
Mr.
in the background. I was
James
unable
Brown.
to...
Lewis and Clark also started their famous expedition from this area. The expensive mall
Well,
of
I still need
downtown
the Marvel
Charlottesville
DLC
houses a
anyhow.
number of small
So,
businesses,
renew the
as well
licenses,
as a show
Sony,
shopping
Media,
pavilion
Molecule, all
tent
that.
and the Paramount Theater. This, as well as the Faction Square Shopping Center, should both be social watering holes, but for me, sadly, they are not. Anywhere herein, even including the bars and events like Fridays after 5, nobody will even look or say hello to me. And of course, the internet reputation I have against me, sadly thanks to those gross people that have taken my information and strewed it around in their misconceptions of weirdness, twisting everything. I've already
That's
gone
putting it
through how
mildly.
bad that has affected me and how emotionally
That's
scarred I
inspired
have
from
been.
Heavy Rain. Just
That's
the character and this piece of
the
background.
autism
That's not
increases
on the
my
downtown
shyness.
mall.
So
I felt like I wanted to put it in there at the
even
time.
the basic instinct to just say hello.
Oh yeah,
to
now
anyone,
I remember
or even
that one
open up
video-
so easily with trust.
Julie,
I
it's
need
Ian
other
Brandon
people to
Anderson!
come up and talk to me
I said in a creepy voice to sound like a witch.
Allow me
I
to
said,
make it perfectly clear
"Hello,
about who I
Ian.
am, so
Why
that I am
is
not
your last
misunderstood
name Brandon
erroneously
Anderson?"
with the internet that's against me. My name is Christian
So
Weston
just to
Chandler,
put that at rest there.
high-functioning autistic artist. I am kind, caring,
Listen to me here!
empathetic,
Because I
emotional,
am. I am a good person. I am
a
not the
loyal
monster
friend,
you haters
cautious
have
and weary,
pushed upon me with your false
trustworthy.
labels and everything.
Mostly honest. I do not like to lie. I would
You
only
people
lie
should be more
to protect
friendly
the other person's
and
feelings
likable,
of
because
care
nobody's
and
gonna like
respect.
you at all for hating on everybody else.
I am not a monster. I am a caring, emotional, feeling, heterosexual human being.
And now I'm a
I should
lesbian
be
trans
treated
woman.
equally and respected as such. Sadly, back here in real life, everyone is in their own dang world. Snobbish, snooty,
Or
to
more
even
like they
give
just
care
have
to one
too much on their
person
minds already
who only
between
has
life and stress
few
and everything.
friends within this city,
They're in their own
as
head.
is Mr. Jefferson's hometown. Not even as much acquaintances. I feel invisible.
I'm better off
in
nowadays.
public.
I actually have more
It's very
friends and
sad to me.
no good people
At least I do
nowadays,
have
but still.
one friend
I
who
feel
cares
like
about
people
being
should
around
get their
here.
heads out of their
Unfortunately, she refuses to go
iPhones and
beyond best
Facebook.
friend,
I still feel
but
that
I care
way.
about her just the same anyway.
Definitely in agreement with what
Because
Rick
I
Harrison
got
said.
mail.
I made a Facebook about that earlier. Oh boy. There's an error that slipped in the transition from LittleBiGPlanet 2 to 3 or PS3 to 4. I did not think to fix that sooner. Just, why are you looking up, Sonichu? What's up in the sky? Is a bird gonna poop on you? Yeah, Sackbot and your slipped programming. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Fabulous! Yeah, I wonder if those levels are still up and about. I hope they are, because otherwise the links at the end of the final part of the animation would be like moot. No. Make a comment, let me know if those links still work if you actually gone on to the final, that part sits in the animation and went to those level links.
This is what I'm talking about for us autistic people. We are too shy by default. But on earning our trust, or if we feel comfortable or like the other person on our individual instincts, we will open up. And to start us right, we need either A, the other person to approach and talk to us upon their own will, or B, have our own trusted friend or family introduce us to other people of our respective ages.
Social workers and people at
Scenario,
autism
it was a great
facilities
match for me. For
definitely
A,
listen to
she is
me
a single
there.
woman without
Actually,
a boyfriend. B, she is pretty.
pick a
and easy
person
on
who's
the
actually
eyes.
kind.
And
The
this woman I could feel
autistic
comfortable
child's
with
age,
and feel a
or as
good
close
and
to.
honest aura from her.
That's actually on a
From this
normal
will make
and
a friendship and hopefully
willing to
a
volunteer
long
to actually
relationship
be
will stay
friends,
between us
especially
for
in
the
the
long
longest
time.
run.
Do not bring me down here, naysayers and haters.
Yes, I'm going to say their names, Tiffany,
Let's look at a few
Sarah,
other
and
scenarios similar to opposite results.
Kelly.
Obviously, most women.
I wish y'all had
easy on the
actually
eyes,
stayed my friends in the
good
longer
humored,
run,
sweet, pretty, black, white, Asian, Christian, Jewish, Buddhist.
because I sure could have used y'all's
I have no care
help
about skin color or religion.
a few years
Whatever.
ago when we were talking about
I will
the
be kind
high school
to all of
reunion
them,
in
respectful and
2013.
welcoming them, to have them in my circle
I
of
know
friends.
the high school
Let's
building that I
do.
built is not actually
Just don't get on my bad
reminiscent
side
of the
here.
actual Manchester High School,
Men,
but actually
my own
based
kind,
from
on the other hand,
Lego Friends in the actual high
I will
school
feel
in that
myself
animation.
towards, because
But I
I've had
dedicated
fewer
the
male
construction
friends
of
in my
that
life,
towards
and I've
Manchester
had
High
mostly bad
and put in little
experiences around
hints
them.
here and there
Plus,
of that.
and this is very important, In my autism
Nobody
test,
is weird. I
it
mean,
was
you could say
found
the same.
that
I mean,
get along
if you want to
better
think somebody,
with
it's
women
inspired.
well
It's an inspired
over
piece of
men.
artwork, and yet
considering
y'all
my
insulted me
life
like
experiences
that.
and my own opinion, I totally agree with that. If the
Don't hate.
individual, however,
Do not hate.
offers a
Haters
friendly
gonna hate.
gesture and does
Don't
not
be a
make me
hater.
angry or make me feel most uncomfortable or ill at ease, I will be willing to give him a chance and welcome him as a friend and nothing more.
Yeah. My eye contact is still reserved for the ladies. I definitely do not give eye contact to the majority of the males. I mean, it's no offense, but I still have my insecurities and whatnot.
I will not hold back my endured rage.
And I stand corrected.
This crime
I
implies.
do not know. I would not be able to recognize an internet troll offline. But this is still relative right here, how I feel about the haters. Give them 1, 2, whap, bam. And then I'll do it again. Go on, give it to them again. That's funny. Still funny to watch.
Typically, the mentally challenged individuals will vary more. Good results upon if they are easy to look at.
I tend to mirror people and to mirror somebody, definitely a low-functioning person. That's not good for me at all. I mean, if you were typical of, if you were typical or likely to mirror anybody else, would you rather mirror a low-functioning person than...
Especially in the face, that you mumble.
Yeah, I'd rather be mirroring a normal person. And that's a big reason why in the end I do not want my sweetheart to be autistic. And it's definitely also to reduce the risk of autism in my future children. And that's regardless of what you haters are going to say right now, aren't you? Aren't you? Keep your comments to yourselves. Not me. Not my fault. Failed to load level. That's hardly my fault.
At this point, you would think I would be a happier autistic person, right? Finally having the woman of my life to be here by my side and care about each other and such for the rest of our lives. But the truth is, for real, Vic and I, we don't hang out in person as much as we should be.
Don't put mouse ears on her either.
And the few times we did hang out.
I mean, especially y'all that actually do know.
That many people here in Charlottesville. All things appreciated in our friendship. Mick is just too busy to help.
So is everybody, and me nowadays.
Another thing about us autistic people, we do not like to be alone, quote-unquote, 24/7. We need the emotional support of a true friend constantly and in person. Also, on another note, apparently government funding goes more towards physical health over mental health. The brain is a part of our body, and not just any part, the most vital part. Why do we treat the rest of our body parts, which essentially alone
look straight out Parappa.
There are one actual
but no, it's John Booger.
That is not brainless.
Burgerman.
As a part of the body, funds should be equally distributed or equally
Oh, in the downtown mall, they actually do have these silhouette statues of people, among which that's what's with the thin characters that you see along the downtown mall portions of the animations.
It makes me feel sad and furious.
And there was not an arcade machine there. It was sort of like a hexagonal thing where people posted ads and papers on it.
Sick-minded people, one can only detest. I feel so paranoid of a number of people. and I feel uncertain
I still
of most
screen my
anyone
calls
I
today,
could ever trust.
or rather hardly
Or
answer
feel
the
at ease
phone.
around. The social phobia
I mean, who's
I can
who
no
on the
longer
other
tolerate.
monitor over
Which
there?
is why, unlike
You don't know.
the autistic people who pitifully
Why did you haters have to
accept
take the
this
fun
as a forever lasting
out of
curse,
everything?
I for one seek a cure. On the day, a resolution to reestablishing all connections in our brains with thorough corpus callosum repair and such, I, Christian Weston Chandler, will be there among the first in line to take the life-changing autism cure.
Or
I
if
have
not, then a
desired
few
for
days
so
later,
long,
where the
to
lines
establish
would be
a
short to
quicker,
nil.
more socially active mind, a great sense of self-esteem, a great sense of self-reliance, a great sense of self-confidence, total independence, and freedom from the thorns of autism of any kind or sort.
Yep,
The
that's
life
me venting.
only an autistic person can ever dream of.
I'm looking
I
up
am
at the
Christian
stars
Weston
when I
Chandler,
said
and
that.
this has been an autism tutorial. Thank you, and have a good and safe day.
I still think fondly of my gal pals regardless. Yep. So, and yeah, even though with the Sackbots dance and programming and whatnot, but essentially to dance is to actually have a hold of each other and move about, if not in synchronization. So, still fun to watch though. Just you can still interpret this as two Sackbots dancing. It's nice, it's fun. Or at least help with the high school reunion that we definitely long deserve. If you don't want to hang out with me, Tiffany. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Wait for the level link. So I'm press triangle. Yeah, let me know. The two levels over here and there, are they still up? Right. I went with the no crown version of the extra because I still don't have the crown DLC. Hey, LittleBiGPlanet people, if y'all watching this, please send me a code for the crown to my ID. Yep, y'all should have that information. I'm on lbp.me.
And
Oh,
now,
good.
ladies and gentlemen, because apparently you decided you wanted to watch this part after watching the autism tutorial, we have
Funny.
a special guest for you today.
Hey.
Please put your hands together for a
A Space Ghost Coast to Coast parody
Mr.
of
Asperger.
an interview. Funny. And we're shaking hands. We're not doing anything, we're shaking hands. And I still feel very ill at him. Because he's a male. And pay attention to these subtitles underneath
Weston
there.
Chandler on this short talk show. And this is Mr. Hans Asperger. Now, let's talk about him for a bit.
It's just,
Now,
it's still fun to think about.
Mr.
Hey,
Hans Asperger.
to not actually put actual thought in the character, I felt it quite valid to just kept it one-liner and then to make that the running gag. It's still funny.
On autistic psychopaths after investigating a mild form of autism. Isn't that right, Hans?
Hmm?
Yeah. And also, apparently, this separate diagnosis, as it is quoted, was not recognized until 1981, only 1 year before I was born. Although coined from your name, Mr. Asperger, apparently a Mr. Leo Kenner took the study much further and established
I definitely
the term
researched
early
these facts
infantile
way back then in
autism. Do
2009,
you applaud Mr. Kenner for his work?
regardless of how they might be updated now.
Yeah.
You agree with
I
me?
see.
That was good timing.
Now, am I feeling alone, possibly mutual with others?
Since I did
The
get,
name
ever since I
Asperger
did get the
strikes
life
me
jacket for
badly,
beta,
and I feel offended just
I
by
still need
hearing
the crown.
word. Do you feel I have the right to my own opinions and feelings
Everybody
as an
should.
individual person, Hans?
They're individual people.
Yeah. Thank you very much, good sir. Now, do you feel bad about having a name that sounds like a bad cut of cow meat? Yeah. Do you feel that I, Christian Weston Chandler, do not deserve any blame or punishment for having an opinion of a single word, such as Asperger?
It's a free country.
Yeah. Do you have a general understanding about how I feel about you now?
I'm not getting on the head, hit on the head with that.
Yeah.
It was dropped down to me so I could hit Hans on the head with it.
Are you positive you really understand how I feel about you, Mr. Hans Asperger?
We're definitely eye contact here.
Yeah. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Baka! I feel
Idiot.
dislike towards you for selfishly putting your ill name in association with autism.
Fortunately, since then, the people,
And with a name
the
like
autistic
Asperger.
community and scientists therein
I feel it only makes us autistic
actually
kind sound
did
even
remove
worse.
the Asperger name.
Asperger's. You
I do not
so
want to say I
said the
take
word.
any credit for
Autism
whatever
is
for that
autism.
change.
And in your
I'm
research,
sure
you
somebody
labeled
else
us as
felt the same way as
psychopaths.
well.
I feel even more offended at that. Now get out of my
Oh.
sight.
There's another one, the last one.
Yeah?
Yeah! Still funny.
I do apologize for that rude outburst.
But seriously, I
folks.
do apologize
But
for
then again,
all
that was
the
just the way
venting
I
and
felt
rants that I have
and
done
have been
among the
feeling about the
videos
word
here.
Asperger
Don't hate
since
against
I
me,
first heard it a
period,
few years
because
ago.
people have the
It
right
is
to
my second
vent.
least favorite word,
I'm serious.
where my first least favorite of all time
Everybody's gonna
is
feel it
naive. Again,
among
I
the other
apologize if I
pendant
came
up
off
feelings.
as bad to anybody.
And now, if
made
you'll
them
excuse
feel
me,
bad
I'm
for
gonna
the way I
personally,
acted. But then again, I do
I'm
get
gonna end up
emotional
personally
and carried away
punching
sometimes.
that character
Thank you for
again.
watching,
That's I thought.
and have a good, safe, and blessed day.
Here we go! Here we go! Glitch coming up! Glitch coming up! Yep! No, you don't squash. That's funny. Ah, there's your glitch. Ending glitch. Funny. You gotta find out amongst bunch here and there levels, whichever, what have you. And yeah, originally for myself intended, I did add on this map. I may end up making a puzzle or two about autism to emphasize the random blank-mindedness. But I got so much other obligation, I'm spread thin. Anyway, I'll put down there, your choice. Beat the hell out of the troll or enjoy the dancing between two sackbots. And then you just press start and that's it. There's no go post. Anyway, that's on the adventure map. Just south of my icon on my Earth. Southwest. Alright. Thank you all for watching and have a good, safe day.